everybody, Stephanie here. I'm really excited for today's video because it's actually going to start out a little differently than usual. I was approached by a jewelry company called Luisa Jewelry based out of New York City, and they wanted to collaborate with me and send me a few pieces of jewelry to share with you. And I thought with Christmas coming up, what better time to share some really neat gift ideas for some of the women in your life, whether it's your mom, your sister, your friend, your grandma. There's lots of women that we need to buy for Christmas. And when I really looked into this company, I thought that it was really awesome how they created their jewelry, and I thought I definitely wanted to share it with you. So first off, I want to thank Luisa Jewelry for asking me to partner with them. And I'll just tell you a few really quick things about their company before I show you the jewelry that I chose in a little more detail. So what I loved most about Luisa Jewelry when I started looking into them, when I first started talking to them, was that they actually use 100% recycled gold. So a really fun fact is it actually takes 20 tons of earth moving to get one ring of gold. And I thought that was just crazy. So they actually use just 100% recycled gold. Another thing is that this jewelry is actually made in the same facility as Tiffany and Louis Vuitton jewelry is. So it's very high quality jewelry, but what they do is they only sell online and not through retail. So between using the recycled gold and selling online only, they're able to really get the cost of the jewelry down to an affordable price that's accessible to everyone, which I think is great because I'm not an expensive jewelry person, especially now that I'm a stay-at-home mom and I'm not teaching anymore. But even when I was teaching, I had trouble spending like a lot of money on jewelry. So one thing I will say about this jewelry is it's not cheap jewelry. It's not like, your costume jewelry. It still is made from gold. Most of it is 14 karat gold plated. And so it's really, really good quality. The bigger jewelry companies, they mark up their jewelry about 10 times, which is really crazy. So they're able to eliminate that whole process with the retail and make the jewelry more accessible for everybody. So they also really believe in their jewelry, and they offer a 1-year warranty or guarantee on all of their jewelry, which I also love. So enough of that. I want to show you what I chose. So it was super hard when I was looking through to pick just a couple pieces, but the first thing I chose were these earrings. And these are really nice because they're open in the back, which I kind of like, so they're a little more comfortable. They're not super heavy, and so they're quite light, but it's something that I chose these because it's something that's just always good to have in your jewelry box. Is a nice pair of gold hoops. They kind of go with lots of different things. So those are super fun, and I can definitely see myself wearing them when I do get out of the house once in a blue moon. The other thing I chose was this necklace. Now this necklace is a 2-piece necklace, so it actually came together as a set. However, what I love about it is they're not hooked together, so you can actually wear them separately. They're two completely separate necklaces. They can't be packaged, which is really good as well. So when you're buying a set, you can wear them all together or separate, and they do have some really gorgeous sets that I love. So I chose this because it has a freshwater pearl, which I don't have a pearl necklace. And then I really liked this longer one with kind of the fun design on it. And I love how they look together. And like I said, that I can also wear them separately if I want to break them up. And then the last thing I chose was this ring. It is called the MECCA ring or MECCA ring. And it's gold plated, and then it has some black in the middle. And it's open, so you can wear it on any finger, which I thought was really cool because how often do we know our ring size is on like all our fingers? So this one, if I want to wear it on this finger, I can. If I want to wear it on my middle finger, I can. They also have this ring in different colors, which is kind of cool because you can stack them. So I'm hoping to get the white one so I can wear them together as well. So those are the pieces I chose. I don't want to keep talking about it for too much longer, but if you're interested, go to analuisa.com. I will put the link for the website in my description box, as well as the link for the 3 pieces that I shared with you today. And I also have a promo code for you. It's Stephanie V10, and that will give you 10% off your order. So go ahead and check it out, see if there's anything you like. They do make everything by limited quantity, so once they do sell out of something, they make new things, but you may not always be able to get the same things that you see here today. So be sure, if you love any of these, be sure to go and check them out. Like I said, it is a mid-range price. It's still not super cheap jewelry, but it's great quality and I love it. I'm super excited to have gotten this, and I'm really glad that they chose me to collaborate with them. The next thing I want to talk about is my 10 to 12 week pregnancy update. Now, there really isn't a whole lot more to update you, except I want to start off by saying that I forgot one really big symptom on my last video. From about 6 to 9 weeks, I had a really major symptom that I didn't share with you. It's probably one of the worst symptoms, sorry, and that is a major shortness of breath. I'm not talking like I went up the stairs too fast, I can't breathe. I'm talking like when I was doing nothing, just sitting there, I would get to the point where I would have to literally be gasping for air. This did happen to me previously. I especially remember it in my pregnancy with Bria. I actually remember going to emergency when I was pregnant with Bria because I couldn't breathe. And they told me they thought it was just anxiety related. I thought that was really weird because it did kind of go away after the first trimester, and I've noticed it got a lot better this pregnancy as well. I did have some of that with Beckett's pregnancy, but I don't remember it being near as bad as it was for a couple weeks earlier in this pregnancy. So I just wanted to add that because it was a major symptom that I had, but I forgot to share it with you. So I'm just going to go on here. As far as, I'm just getting my app back up to show you. So as far as symptoms between 10 and 12 weeks, they're pretty much the same, although I do feel like my all-day sickness is getting a little bit better. I still feel pretty crappy in the afternoon and evening, mostly just quite nauseous, but I still haven't thrown up, just like all my other pregnancies. I just feel like it all the time. And so that's about it. Like my mornings are usually okay. I still feel nauseous, but not horrible. So it's still there. I'm sure it'll be there probably for a good month or two more. It usually is. But I feel like maybe it's not quite as extreme, even though it's like I'll have a good day or two and I think, okay, maybe it's getting better. And then the next day is horrible again. So it's kind of been like that. And I would say the only real other symptom I've had during this 10 to 12 weeks is in my last video. If you watched it, I mentioned that my boobs didn't hurt at all yet, which was quite weird because usually they hurt really badly, basically through the whole pregnancy. And they really just started getting a little bit sore around 10 weeks. And they're still a bit sore now. I'll have a few days where they're more sore than others, but it still hasn't been like horrible. But I have had some tenderness and my boobs have been a little bit sore. So that's pretty much the only other thing other than the nauseousness that's still there. Now I have my ultrasound. And I will be sharing that with you as well right away here. But I'm first going to show you the app. All right, so remember this is the Pregnancy Plus app that I shared with you. It's really cool. So this is 10 weeks and what baby would look like around 10 weeks. Sorry, let's see here. It says if you could touch the little fingers, you could feel that tiny fingernails are beginning to form. I think I shared 10 weeks with you. I'm gonna move on to the next one. I think I did that last time. Sorry. Okay. Week 11. That's what baby looks like or looked like. Crazy compared to when I showed you like week 7 and 8, how quickly they change. It's just crazy to me. And in week 11, your baby's liver and spleen are now producing blood cells and the pancreas is beginning to release digestive enzymes. And then another thing I forgot to show you is this little button right here. When you push it, it actually shows you the actual size of the baby. And I should have showed you that for all of the other ones. So this is the actual size at 11 weeks. And 12 weeks, which is right now, I'm about 12 and a half weeks right now. So baby is definitely looking like a baby now. Sucking movements, your baby now has the ability to open and close its fists and make sucking movements. I remember one of our babies, I think it was Liam, it's either Liam or Nate, I'm pretty sure it was Liam, was sucking his thumb in his 12-week ultrasound, and we thought that was pretty cool. And actual size right now is right there. I guess since I'm almost 13 weeks, I could just show you 13 weeks and pick up next time on 14. So look at the limbs, the difference in limbs and how much more baby-like the baby is getting to look. So this is in a couple days, I'll be 13 weeks. The skin, your baby's skin is very translucent, and at this point, all the tiny veins in the body are now visible. So you can see all the veins in baby's head. And last one, the actual size is right there. All right, so super excited to share my ultrasound pictures with you, so I will be right back. Hey everyone, I'm back. So first off, I'm sorry about the really crappy lighting in here. It's nighttime now that we're back from the ultrasound, and the lighting in here is not good. So a quick update on today's ultrasound. Like I said, it was 12 weeks, 4 days, and we are going to a clinic in Calgary, which is about 3 hours from here. It's a high-risk maternal fetal medicine ultrasound clinic. And the baby looks great. It is measuring perfectly. Limbs look good, nice and long. No concerns with any of the first trimester screening. So that's all really good news. It was stressful because, you know, even though the embryo is tested, we just never know if it's right or not until we have that confirmation and see those limbs and see those first measurements. So hopefully, that continues to go well, but for now the baby looks great and I feel really good about it. But there was some not so good news as well, and that is that they are already able to tell that I have placenta accreta. So if you followed my journey before, you may have seen that I had placenta increta after I had my daughter Bria, and I delivered her at 16 weeks, and she was affected with the fatal genetic condition that we carry. So I did end up with it with her, which gave me an increased risk of having it again. And then luckily I didn't have it with Beckett's pregnancy, and that was all really smooth, but I did have a C-section, which also increased your risks even more of getting accreta. So unfortunately, I have an anterior placenta, which is what most accreta cases are. And they can already see placental lakes or whatever it is, and some issues with the placenta, which to me is very scary because it's early. It's only, you know, just over 12 weeks. So lots of times accreta is not diagnosed until later in pregnancy, if at all. So for them to see it already is definitely a bit scary. As far as what's next, I'll be going back in about 2.5 weeks, and they'll do another scan of the placenta and of course the baby. We'll see if there's been any progression, if it's getting worse, or kind of what we're dealing with. And then again at 19 weeks when I have the anatomy scan, we'll also look at it again then. And hopefully after those 2 scans, we'll kind of have an idea of how bad it is or if it's getting worse, and then we'll be able to come up with a plan. But right now, I'll probably have to deliver in Calgary with a team, would be for sure a planned C-section, and most likely, or a very good chance of a planned C-section hysterectomy if the accreta does progress and get worse. So there is definitely a chance of a hysterectomy at the end of this, but that is the safest thing to save the mom's life when you do have accreta. So lots to sink in and think about. It's good that we know so early, so we can come up with a plan, and that it's not undiagnosed this time. So hopefully that will help with, you know, just coming up with a plan of action. But it's going to be a pretty stressful pregnancy going forward. Not that it wasn't already, just with our history, but especially now. So that's kind of where we're at right now. I will for sure update you again in a couple weeks after my next ultrasound, but I will show you pictures of Babe because I can. So sorry, like I said, now it's like glaring and it's hard for you to even see. So the legs were all crumpled up here, so it's really hard to tell. I was expecting more of a rounded skull because I was kind of thinking the girl embryo took, but now I'm kind of leaning towards it being a boy. So we'll see. I don't know yet. Maybe they'll be able to tell us at the next one, but it's still only 15 weeks, so I bet you they won't tell us until the 19-week one. But if they do, I guess we'll get lucky. And the 3D. Oh, look at the glare. I'm trying to see the best way so that you don't have a big glare there. So they got a really good 3D. You can see the nice long legs and arms, which with our affected babies, we did not see limbs like that. So that was a really good sign. We did choose not to do the CVS. We had a possible CVS booked, but that was only for if we had any concerns with the measurements of the baby, and we didn't, and they didn't have any concerns with the baby, only with the placenta. So, so that is the baby. All right. So I think that's it, and I just wanted to remind you, if you love this jewelry from Ana Luisa Jewelry in New York, be sure to go to analuisa.com. Link will be in the description, as well as a discount code, StephanieV10. If you are interested in checking it out, awesome quality, and I talked about it more at the beginning of the video, but I just wanted to remind you, links will be in the comments, and I will see you or talk to you in a couple weeks. Bye, guys. Hiccups. Baby has the hiccups. Look at Beckett, the baby has the hiccups. 12 weeks, 4 days. And there's Beckett. Beckett, hi. Oh, nice. And Daddy. I wonder where he gets that smile from.